What's up, everyone? Thanks for checking out my video. Today I'm cleaning up the camper van to get it ready for sale. First we are replacing the suspension, so new shocks in the back. That is going to be a bolt on the top, on the bottom. You take the weight off by jacking it up and replace the shocks. Bada bing, bada boom. Drop it down. On the front, I'm going to take off the bumper to make it easier to do all this because I'm going to paint it anyway. So pop the bumper off, pop the wheels off, and bolts on the bottom of the shock. And then inside the cab, you hit the bolt from under where your feet are. Slide the strut out and replace it with the new one.
Show leg inside.
Okay, so that strut goes on the way the old one comes off. It can be a little tricky with the caliper hanging, so maybe find a way to elevate it and watch out for your brake lines hanging and dangling with all the weight on them. After I got that done, I masked off the whole van. I took off every piece of plastic because I'm planning to paint it black. I went over all my dents and bondoed them, grinded out any rust, and primered it. This was my first time ever using Bondo. So I definitely did my best, but I'm no pro at it. I'm painting the whole van with a bed liner paint, so I'll have some forgiveness on my bodywork. So by the end, I think I blended this dent in pretty good. I could have kept going at it, but I had to call it quits and move on to painting. The first thing that happened when I started painting was my paint was too thick and it was not spraying out of my gun evenly. So it got pretty splotchy at the start and I wasn't really able to fix it. But once I moved on past the sliding door, it started to get pretty consistent, but I still had a pretty hard time with the white. The paint comes in two parts. It's a hardener that you put into the paint, and I had to use extra hardener to dilute it enough to spray through the gun, and it was pretty complicated. Sometimes it was just like really acting up, but I got it done, and I wish I probably did a few more coats of white. I noticed some streaks and some spots that I didn't get, so it would have been good to have more time to really cover the whole body. And then when I moved on to the black, I did all the trim out of the black, and it sprayed really nicely. I mixed it to what was recommended, and it came out really fine with a nice light texture, and it was super simple. So I'm hoping next time the white will spray like that, or maybe I'll just do the whole van out of black. I let everything sit overnight, and luckily I think it all dried before it started raining. In the morning, I had no time to film, so here we are. Here's the van reveal all together. Looking pretty good. So I wish I could have filmed putting all the plastics back on, but again, it was raining so hard, and I just woke up from camping outside, so I just went back to putting it all together. And I just couldn't be happier with how it came out. I did this in a couple days. I've been looking at how ugly this thing is for 2 years now. I wish I did it sooner. It was awesome to just finally have this thing looking all one color, straight, no rust. So I brought the van back home and brought it in for a pre-purchase inspection, and then I put it up for sale. I had almost no bites and was getting a little discouraged until a couple from Facebook reached out who was traveling here from Germany, and they were looking for a camper van just like mine in the price range to drive from Vancouver to Patagonia. So it worked out just perfect, and I happened to be going over to Vancouver when they were flying in, so I caught the first ferry and made my way over there. Picked this van up almost 2 years ago. This was the first Sprinter van I've ever bought. I've learned a lot since this one. It was a very rough shell to start out with, but I did my best to turn it into what it is today. If the new buyers end up taking it, I think they'll be very happy. It's a super reliable camper, really comfy inside, actually has a lot of room, although it's a low roof. I will be sad to see it go, but luckily I have almost the carbon copy back at home, and I've also got my eyes on a new 2010 that I might even go home with if this sale goes through. So we met downtown Vancouver, went for a ride, and he was sold. He loved the van, his girlfriend loved it, so we went to Starbucks and worked out the details. Last time. Have a good one. It's been fun. This was a pretty huge accomplishment. I had been wanting to sell this van for a while, and I got exactly what I wanted for it. I got a great sunset for the ferry home, and that was that. So thanks for watching the video. Next, I have a new 2010.
The freaking roof was caved in.
I'm going to be posting a video on.
So he's asking 23 for it.
So stay tuned, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.